Magic Johnson. Earvin "Magic" Johnson Jr. is an American retired professional basketball player and current president of basketball operations of the Los Angeles Lakers of the National Basketball Association. He played point guard for the Lakers for 13 seasons. After winning championships in high school and college, Johnson was selected first overall in the 1979 NBA draft by the Lakers. He won a championship and an NBA Finals Most Valuable Player award in his rookie season, and won 4 more championships with the Lakers during the 1980s. Johnson retired abruptly in 1991 after announcing that he had contracted HIV, but returned to play in the 1992 All-Star Game, winning the All-Star MVP award. After protests from his fellow players, he retired again for 4 years, but returned in 1996. At age 36, to play 32 games for the Lakers before retiring for the third and final time. Johnson's career achievements include 3 NBA MVP awards, 9 NBA Finals appearances, 12 All-Star games, and 10 All-NBA first and second team nominations. He led the league in regular season assists 4 times, and is the NBA's all-time leader in average assists per game, at 11.2. Johnson was a member of the 1992 United States men's Olympic basketball team, which won the Olympic gold medal in 1992. After leaving the NBA in 1992, Johnson formed the Magic Johnson All-Stars, a barnstorming team that traveled around the world playing exhibition games. Johnson was honored as one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history in 1996. Johnson became a 2-time inductee into the Basketball Hall of Fame, being enshrined in 2002 for his individual career, and again in 2010 as a member of the Dream Team. He was rated the greatest NBA point guard of all time by ESPN in 2007. His friendship and rivalry with Boston Celtics star Larry Bird, whom he faced in the 1979 NCAA Finals and 3 NBA championship series, are well documented. Since his retirement, Johnson has been an advocate for HIV/AIDS prevention and safe sex, as well as an entrepreneur, philanthropist, broadcaster and motivational speaker. His public announcement of his HIV-positive status in 1991 helped dispel the stereotype, still widely held at the time, that HIV was a gay disease that heterosexuals need not worry about. His bravery in making this announcement was widely commended. Named by Ebony magazine as one of America's most influential black businessmen in 2009. Johnson has numerous business interests, and was a part owner of the Lakers for several years. Johnson also is part of a group of investors that purchased the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2012, and the Los Angeles Sparks in 2014. Early years. Earvin Johnson Jr. was born in Lansing, Michigan to Earvin Sr., a General Motors assembly worker, and Christine, a school custodian. Johnson, who had 6 siblings, was influenced by his parents' strong work ethic. Johnson's mother spent many hours after work each night cleaning their home and preparing the next day's meals, while his father did janitorial work at a used car lot and collected garbage, all while never missing a day at General Motors. Earvin Jr. would often help his father on the garbage route, and he was teased by neighborhood children who called him "Garbage Man." Johnson grew up in Lansing and came to love basketball as a youngster. His favorite basketball player was Bill Russell, whom he admired more for his many championships than his athletic ability. He also idolized players such as Earl Monroe and Marcus Haynes, and practiced all day Magic Johnson came from an athletic family. His father played high school basketball in his home state of Mississippi, and Johnson learned the finer points about the game from him. Johnson's mother, originally from North Carolina, had also played basketball as a child, and she grew up watching her brothers play the game. By the time he had reached the 8th grade, Johnson had begun to think about a future in basketball. He had become a dominant junior high player, once scoring 48 points in a game. Johnson looked forward to playing at Sexton High School, a school with a very successful basketball team, and a great tradition that also happened to be only 5 blocks from his home. His plans underwent a dramatic change when he learned that he would be bused to predominantly white Everett High School instead of going to Sexton, which was predominantly black. Johnson's sister Pearl and his brother Larry had bused to Everett the previous year, and did not have a pleasant experience. There were incidents of racism, with rocks being thrown at buses carrying black students, and white parents refusing to send their children to school. Larry was kicked off the basketball team after a confrontation during practice, prompting him to beg Earvin not to play. Johnson did join the basketball team, but became angry after several days when his new teammates ignored him during practice, not even passing the ball. He nearly got into a fight with another player before head coach George Fox intervened. Eventually Johnson accepted his situation, and the small group of black students looked to him as the leader. When recalling the events in his autobiography, My Life, he talked about how his time at Everett had changed him. As I look back on it today, I see the whole picture very differently. It's true that I hated missing out on Sexton, and the first few months I was miserable at Everett. But being bused to Everett turned out to be one of the best things that ever happened to me. It got me out of my own little world and taught me how to understand white people, how to communicate and deal with them. Johnson was first dubbed Magic as a 15-year-old sophomore playing for Everett High School, when he recorded a triple-double of 36 points, 18 rebounds and 16 assists. After the game, Fred Stabley Jr., a sports writer for the Lansing State Journal, gave him the moniker despite the belief of Johnson's mother, a Christian, that the name was sacrilegious. In his final high school season, Johnson led Lansing Everett to a 27-1 win-loss record while averaging 28.8 points and 16.8 rebounds per game, and took his team to an overtime victory in the state championship game. Johnson dedicated the championship victory to his best friend Reggie Chastain, who was killed in a car accident the previous summer. He gave Chastain much of the credit for his development as a basketball player and as a person, saying years later, "I doubted myself back then." Johnson and Chastain were almost always together, playing basketball or riding around in Chastain's car. Upon learning of Chastain's death, Magic ran from his home, crying uncontrollably. Johnson, who finished his high school career with 2 All-State selections, was considered at the time to be the best high school player ever to come out of Michigan, and was also named to the 1977 McDonald's All-American team. Michigan State University. Although Johnson was recruited by several top-ranked colleges such as Indiana and UCLA, he decided to play close to home. His college decision came down to Michigan and Michigan State in East Lansing. He ultimately decided to attend Michigan State when Coach Judd Heathcote told him he could play the point guard position. The talent already on Michigan State's roster also drew him to the program. Johnson did not initially aspire to play professionally, focusing instead on his communication studies major. and on his desire to become a television commentator, playing with future NBA draftees Greg Kelser, Jay Vincent and Mike Bukovich. Johnson averaged 17.0 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 7.4 assists per game as a freshman, and led the Spartans to a 25-5 record, the Big Ten Conference title, and a berth in the 1978 NCAA tournament. The Spartans reached the Elite Eight, but lost narrowly to eventual national champion Kentucky. During the 1978-79 season, Michigan State again qualified for the NCAA tournament, where they advanced to the championship game and faced Indiana State, which was led by senior Larry Bird. In what was the most-watched college basketball game ever, Michigan State defeated Indiana State 75-64, and Johnson was voted Most Outstanding Player of the Final Four after 2 years in college, during which he averaged 17.1 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 7.9 assists per game. Johnson entered the 1979 NBA draft. Judd Heathcote stepped down as coach of the Spartans after the 1994-95 season, and on June 8, 1995, Johnson returned to the Breslin Center to play in the Judd Heathcote All-Star Tribute game. He led all scorers with 39 points. Rookie season in the NBA. Johnson was drafted first overall in 1979 by the Los Angeles Lakers. Johnson said that what was most amazing about joining the Lakers was the chance to play alongside Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the team's 7'2" in center who became the leading scorer in NBA history. Despite Abdul-Jabbar's dominance, he had failed to win a championship with the Lakers, and Johnson was expected to help them achieve that goal. Johnson averaged 18.0 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 7.3 assists per game for the season, was selected to the NBA All-Rookie team, and was named an NBA All-Star Game starter. The Lakers compiled a 60-22 record in the regular season and reached the 1980 NBA Finals, in which they faced the Philadelphia 76ers, who were led by forward Julius Earvin. The Lakers took a 3-2 lead in the series, but Abdul-Jabbar, who averaged 33 points a game in the series, sprained his ankle in Game 5, and could not play in Game 6. Paul Westhead decided to start Johnson at center in Game 6. Johnson recorded 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals in a 123-107 win, while playing guard, forward, and center at different times during the game. Johnson became the only rookie to win the NBA Finals MVP award, and his clutch performance is still regarded as one of the finest in NBA history. He also became one of 4 players to win NCAA and NBA championships in consecutive years. Ups and downs. Early in the 1980-81 season, Johnson was sidelined after he suffered torn cartilage in his left knee. He missed 45 games, and said that his rehabilitation was the most down he had ever felt. Johnson returned before the start of the 1981 playoffs, but the Lakers' then assistant and future head coach Pat Riley later said Johnson's much-anticipated return made the Lakers a divided team. The 54-win Lakers faced the 40-42 Houston Rockets in the first round of playoffs, where Houston upset the Lakers 2-1 after Johnson airballed a last-second shot in Game 3. In 1981, after the 1980-81 season, Johnson signed a 25-year, $25 million contract with the Lakers, which was the highest-paying contract in sports history up to that point. Early in the 1981-82 season, Johnson had a heated dispute with Westhead, who Johnson said made the Lakers slow and predictable. After Johnson demanded to be traded, Lakers owner Jerry Buss fired Westhead and replaced him with Riley. Although Johnson denied responsibility for Westhead's firing, he was booed across the league, even by Laker fans. However, Buss was also unhappy with the Lakers' offense, and had intended on firing Westhead days before the Westhead-Johnson altercation. But assistant GM Jerry West and GM Bill Sharman had convinced Buss to delay his decision. Despite his off-court troubles, Johnson averaged 18.6 points, 9.6 rebounds, 9.5 assists, and a league-high 2.7 steals per game, and was voted a member of the All-NBA second team. He also joined Wilt Chamberlain and Oscar Robertson as the only NBA players to tally at least 700 points, 700 rebounds, and 700 assists in the same season. The Lakers advanced through the 1982 playoffs, and faced Philadelphia for the second time in 3 years in the 1982 NBA Finals. After a triple-double from Johnson in Game 6, the Lakers defeated the Sixers 4-2, as Johnson won his second NBA Finals MVP award. During the championship series against the Sixers, Johnson averaged 16.2 points on .533 shooting, 10.8 rebounds, 8.0 assists, and 2.5 steals per game. Johnson later said that his third season was when the Lakers first became a great team, and he credited their success to Riley. During the 1982-83 NBA season, Johnson averaged 16.8 points, 10.5 assists, and 8.6 rebounds per game and earned his first All-NBA first-team nomination. The Lakers again reached the finals, and for a third time faced the Sixers, who featured center Moses Malone as well as Earvin, with Johnson's teammates Norm Nixon, James Worthy and Bob McAdoo all hobbled by injuries. The Lakers were swept by the Sixers, and Malone was crowned the Finals MVP. In a losing effort against Philadelphia, Johnson averaged 19.0 points on .403 shooting, 12.5 assists, and 7.8 rebounds per game. Battles against the Celtics. Prior to Johnson's fifth season, West, who had become the Lakers' general manager, traded Nixon to free Johnson from sharing the ball-handling responsibilities. Johnson that season averaged a double-double of 17.6 points and 13.1 assists, as well as 7.3 rebounds per game. The Lakers reached the finals for the third year in a row, where Johnson's Lakers and Bird's Celtics met for the first time in the postseason. The Lakers won the first game, and led by 2 points in Game 2 with 18 seconds to go, but after a layup by Gerald Henderson, Johnson failed to get a shot off before the final buzzer sounded, and the Lakers lost 124-121 in overtime. In Game 3, Johnson responded with 21 assists in a 137-104 win, but in Game 4, he again made several crucial errors late in the contest. In the final minute of the game, Johnson had the ball stolen by Celtics center Robert Parrish, and then missed 2 free throws that could have won the game. The Celtics won Game 4 in overtime, and the teams split the next 2 games in the decisive Game 7 in Boston, as the Lakers trailed by 3 points in the final minute. Opposing point guard Dennis Johnson stole the ball from Johnson, a play that effectively ended the series. Friends Isaiah Thomas and Mark Aguirre consoled him that night, talking until the morning in his Boston hotel room amidst fan celebrations on the street. During the finals, Johnson averaged 18.0 points on .560 shooting, 13.6 assists, and 7.7 rebounds per game. Johnson later described the series as the one championship we should have had, but didn't get. Cedric Maxwell in 1985 NBA Finals. In the 1984-85 regular season, Johnson averaged 18.3 points, 12.6 assists, and 6.2 rebounds per game, and led the Lakers into the 1985 NBA Finals, where they faced the Celtics again. The series started poorly for the Lakers, when they allowed an NBA Finals record 148 points to the Celtics in a 34-point loss in Game 1. However, Abdul-Jabbar, who was now 38 years old, scored 30 points and grabbed 17 rebounds in Game 2. And his 36 points in a Game 5 win were instrumental in establishing a 3-2 lead for Los Angeles. After the Lakers defeated the Celtics in 6 games, Abdul-Jabbar and Johnson, who averaged 18.3 points on .494 shooting, 14.0 assists, and 6.8 rebounds per game in the championship series, said the finals win was the highlight of their careers. Johnson again averaged a double-double in the 1985-86 NBA season, with 18.8 points, 12.6 assists, and 5.9 rebounds per game. The Lakers advanced to the Western Conference Finals, but were unable to defeat the Houston Rockets, who advanced to the finals in 5 games. In the next season, Johnson averaged a career high of 23.9 points, as well as 12.2 assists and 6.3 rebounds per game, and earned his first regular season MVP award. The Lakers met the Celtics for the 3rd time in the NBA Finals, and in Game 4 Johnson hit a last-second hook shot over Celtics big men Parrish and Kevin McHale to win the game, 107-106. The game-winning shot, which Johnson dubbed his Junior Sky Hook, helped Los Angeles defeat Boston in 6 games. Johnson was awarded his 3rd Finals MVP title after averaging 26.2 points on .541 shooting, 13.0 assists, 8.0 rebounds, and 2.33 steals per game. Repeat and falling short. Before the 1987-88 NBA season, Lakers coach Pat Riley publicly promised that they would defend the NBA title, even though no team had won consecutive titles since the Celtics did so in the 1969 NBA Finals. Johnson had another productive season with averages of 19.6 points, 11.9 assists, and 6.2 rebounds per game despite missing 10 games with a groin injury. In the 1988 playoffs, the Lakers swept the San Antonio Spurs in 3 games, then survived 2 4-3 series against the Utah Jazz and the Dallas Mavericks to reach the finals, and faced Thomas and the Detroit Pistons, who with players such as Bill Laimbeer, John Salley, Vinnie Johnson and Dennis Rodman were known as the Bad Boys for their physical style of play. Johnson and Thomas greeted each other with a kiss on the cheek before the opening tip of Game 1, which they called a display of brotherly love. After the teams split the first 6 games, Lakers forward and Finals MVP James Worthy had his first career triple-double of 36 points, 16 rebounds, and 10 assists, and led his team to a 108-105 win. Despite not being named MVP, Johnson had a strong championship series, averaging 21.1 points on .550 shooting, 13.0 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. It was the 5th and final NBA championship of his career. In the 1988-89 NBA season, Johnson's 22.5 points, 12.8 assists, and 7.9 rebounds per game earned him his second MVP award. And the Lakers reached the 1989 NBA Finals, in which they again faced the Pistons. However, after Johnson went down with a hamstring injury in Game 2, the Lakers were no match for the Pistons, who swept them 4-0. Playing without Abdul-Jabbar for the first time, Johnson won his third MVP award after a strong 1989-90 NBA season in which he averaged 22.3 points, 11.5 assists, and 6.6 rebounds per game. However, the Lakers bowed out to the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference semifinals, which was the Lakers' earliest playoffs elimination in 9 years. Mike Dunleavy became the Lakers' head coach in 1990-91, when Johnson had grown to be the league's third oldest point guard. He had become more powerful and stronger than in his earlier years, but was also slower and less nimble. Under Dunleavy, the offense used more half-court sets, and the team had a renewed emphasis on defense. Johnson performed well during the season, with averages of 19.4 points, 12.5 assists, and 7.0 rebounds per game, and the Lakers reached the 1991 NBA Finals. There they faced the Chicago Bulls, led by shooting guard Michael Jordan, a 5-time scoring champion regarded as the finest player of his era. Although the series was portrayed as a matchup between Johnson and Jordan, Bulls forward Scottie Pippen defended effectively against Johnson. Despite 2 triple-doubles from Johnson during the series, Finals MVP Jordan led his team to a 4-1 win. In the last championship series of his career, Johnson averaged 18.6 points on .431 shooting, 12.4 assists, and 8.0 rebounds per game. HIV announcement and Olympics. After a physical before the 1991-92 NBA season, Johnson discovered that he had tested positive for HIV. In a press conference held on November 7, 1991, Johnson made a public announcement that he would retire immediately. He stated that his wife Cookie and their unborn child did not have HIV, and that he would dedicate his life to battle this deadly disease. Johnson initially said that he did not know how he contracted the disease, but later acknowledged that it was through having multiple sexual partners during his playing career. At the time, only a small percentage of HIV-positive American men had contracted it from heterosexual sex, and it was initially rumored that Johnson was gay or bisexual, although he denied both. Johnson later accused Isaiah Thomas of spreading the rumors, a claim Thomas denied. Johnson's HIV announcement became a major news story in the United States, and in 2004 was named as ESPN's 7th most memorable moment of the past 25 years. Many articles praised Johnson as a hero, and former U.S. President George H.W. Bush said, "For me, Magic is a hero for anyone who loves sports." Despite his retirement, Johnson was voted by fans as the starter for the 1992 NBA All-Star Game at Orlando Arena. Although his former teammates Byron Scott and AC Green said that Johnson should not play, and several NBA players, including Utah Jazz forward Karl Malone, argued that they would be at risk of contamination if Johnson suffered an open wound while on court. Johnson led the West to a 153-113 win and was crowned All-Star MVP after recording 25 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. The game ended after he made a last-minute three-pointer, and players from both teams ran onto the court to congratulate Johnson. Johnson was chosen to compete in the 1992 Summer Olympics for the U.S. basketball team, dubbed the Dream Team, because of the NBA stars on the roster. The Dream Team, which along with Johnson included fellow Hall of Famers such as Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, and Larry Bird, was considered unbeatable. The Dream Team dominated the competition, winning the gold medal with an 8-0 record, beating their opponents by an average of 43.8 points per game. Johnson averaged 8.0 points per game during the Olympics, and his 5.5 assists per game was second on the team. Johnson played infrequently because of knee problems, but he received standing ovations from the crowd and used the opportunity to inspire HIV-positive people. Post-Olympics and later life. Before the 1992-93 NBA season, Johnson announced his intention to stage an NBA comeback. After practicing and playing in several preseason games, he returned to retirement before the start of the regular season, citing controversy over his return sparked by opposition from several active players. In an August 2011 interview, Johnson said that in retrospect, he wished that he had never retired after being diagnosed with HIV, saying, "If I knew what I know now, I wouldn't have retired." Johnson said that despite the physical, highly competitive practices and scrimmages leading up to the 1992 Olympics, some of those same teammates still expressed concerns about his return to the NBA. He said that he retired because he didn't want to hurt the game. During his retirement, Johnson has written a book on safe sex, run several businesses, worked for NBC as a commentator, and toured Asia, Australia and New Zealand with the basketball team of former college and NBA players. In 1985, Johnson created A Midsummer Night's Magic, a yearly charity event which included a celebrity basketball game and a black-tie dinner. The proceeds went to the United Negro College Fund, and Johnson held this event for 20 years, ending in 2005. A Midsummer Night's Magic eventually came under the umbrella of the Magic Johnson Foundation, which he founded in 1991. The 1992 event, which was the first one held after Johnson's appearance in the 1992 Olympics, raised over $1.3 million for UNCF. Magic Johnson joined Shaquille O'Neal and celebrity coach Spike Lee to lead the blue team to a 147-132 victory over the white team, which was coached by Arsenio Hall. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.